Good morning, folks. Last night I sat down and I was gonna start doing some of the editing for the soffits and the trim of the shark shed. And one of the things that I realized as I was going through the footage was that a lot of the files actually were corrupted. I had a card that was going bad, and obviously all of the data, not all of it, but a big chunk of the data was gone. I have some video footage of the things that I did, but I think what I'm gonna do for this video is just make a quick video showing you what the outcome was. Obviously the shed is done at this point, so you can kind of get a sneak preview of what it's gonna look like. And the next video after this is actually showing how we did all the siding. So it's not really that big of a deal, but I wanted to go ahead and kind of walk through what we did and some of the things that we had to do in order to get the soffits and the rest of the trim done. So let's just walk through it. So all of this trim right here, that is the exact same trim that we used around the doors and around all of the windows. It was done on all four corners, as you can see. It's the same product that the siding is made of, which is the James Hardie cement fiberboard. Now, as for the soffits, well, one of the things that we did was I really wanted to get these vents put in, and they're literally like little pucks. So what I put in was a 1x6, and then we cut that 1x6 down to fit the width of that. So I really could have used a 1x4, but this actually worked out pretty well. I was able to scribe it to make it fit really tight. And as you can see, the finished product actually looks pretty good because of the fact that we were able to get some of the caulking in there and kind of finish up and make it look clean. As for the siding and some of the trim pieces, if you remember right before we did the roof, we were able to put all of the fascia boards on, but that corner right there was not finished. And what we ended up having to do there, and I don't know if this lighting is gonna help, but there is some blocking right in there to make this piece here, which is a triangle, fit nice and neat up against that corner. I had to do that to all four corners. And then once I was able to do that, you can kind of see from this angle, you can see how all of that kind of fits really nice and tight together, and it gives it a nice look. Now, as for a finished look, you can see how it would have been just kind of a straight line there, but I kind of like the way that that piece fits in together on all four sides and makes it look really nice and clean. So the soffits were really important to me because I have the ridge vent up at the top. If you remember, we had to put that in to kind of help dissipate some heat. And the way that all of the venting works in a roof is you have to have some convection to allow all of the heat to escape. So what we end up doing is right in here, all the air will come in this way. Heat will expand and it will rise up into the ridge vent. Well, it's got to have a place for it to come in. So this is where it's actually coming in from. That's the principle behind it. Like I said, those pucks were really easy. I just got a hole saw and put it on the end of my drill, cut them out. And then all we had to do after that was paint everything. And that was probably where my wife and I spent quite a bit of time at the end, was getting all of that painted, because I wanted to make sure that we had the first coat on all of the fascia boards, all of the trim, to make it look nice and neat, and then we can actually mask all that off when we are ready to paint the siding. So like I said, this is just a quick little video. Unfortunately, most of the footage is gone because of, I don't know what happened. You know, these cards are pretty sensitive, and I probably dropped one and it caused it to malfunction. But you know, it happens. Part of what I did yesterday as well was I went through and I organized everything. So that looks like it's the only footage that I'm really missing. So not that big of a deal. For the next video, we're actually going to walk through all of the siding installation, which is quite a process. It wasn't that hard. It just was tedious at times because of all the cuts and the fact that I was burning through blades like it was going out of style. But the good news is that I was able to change out all my blades to masonry blades, because that is a fiber cement board, and that made it a lot easier, and it made it so that everything cut out nice and neat and clean. So hopefully you like this video. I apologize for the fact that we don't have much footage on this, but I did want to walk through at least what we did so that you have an idea of what we had to do in order to get all the venting done, soffits, trim, and all that. Next video will be pretty much the second to last one, because after that we're going to do some painting. We do have to build a ramp, but we can do that whenever. And then we've got some landscaping, but those are all things that just can be done whenever. So if anything, I'm happy to say that we are at the beginning of September and we are finished with the shed. It's functional. I'm using it. It's fantastic. It's definitely cleaned up my garage and given me the space to actually start being able to do some other types of projects like woodworking and some of the DIY projects inside the house. and we'll get to those pretty soon. I've got some pretty cool projects coming up, so stay tuned for those. But we're almost done with the shed. I know you guys are probably sick and tired of watching the shed build. I'm sick and tired of doing the shed build, and I'm ready to do something else. But this was like such a necessary piece of our moving into this new house in order to give us the ability to do the things that we really want to do, which is to really renovate this house and make it our own. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to be notified of future videos, don't forget to hit that bell, and we will see you on the next one. Have a good week, everybody.